What's up, y'all, man? I feel like I could talk to y'all for a little bit. Can I talk to y'all for a little bit? I've been doing this since 2006. I think I earned the right to speak to y'all a little bit. I feel like we know each other well enough, right? Excuse me while I sip my generic brand cherry cola. I don't even drink sodas like that, but you know what? I'm finna drink one for this one. Let me crack this bitch open. And I know I got time because the fucking video ain't giving me a time limit, so we definitely gonna have a conversation on this. Now, everybody that sees this video, I don't care if you're a popular YouTuber or a small-time YouTuber, if you're a person that watches anime and you grew up during the 90s, you damn well know this shit is true, right? I ain't talking about these new age fucking, oh, I just started watching watching anime when fucking Naruto made it cool and all that shit. Nah, we gonna take this shit back to like fucking, uh, shit, we gonna take this shit back to like, to anime like Tetsuo, which was the original Dragon Ball Z. That anime like that sparked Dragon Ball Z. I'm talking about taking it back to Tetsuo. Tetsuo was the motherfucking anime that gave Dragon Ball. That was the foundation for Dragon Ball Z that we know today. But I was having this debate with this girl. I'm not gonna say her name because I know how the internet is. Trolls will be attacking, and she cool people. But she had this. This thing she said on her Facebook. And I'm friends with her, so obviously I seen it. But the shit she put on her Facebook, without me verbatim, because I have no way to edit it, I'm just recording this live. Basically, what she was talking about was, why is it that guys think that girls aren't into anime and video games? Like, why do y'all think they're not into anime and video games? Basically, that was the gist of the comment that she made, the question that she presented. And of course, with me being a guy, see, I was born in 1988. I was raised in the 90s. I was raised throughout the 90s. So when anime really got popping in America, I'm talking really got popping. I'm talking about when Yu-Gi-Oh got popping, when fucking Pokemon got popping. Again, Dragon Ball Z, of course. I'm talking about when you had to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, because I was living in Louisiana at the time, and Dragon Ball Z came on at like the peak of the morning. So you really had to be dedicated to watching anime back then. I mean, you really had to be dedicated. I'm not talking about cartoons like Biker Mice from Mars and like Street Sharks and Road Rovers and Silverhawks. See, them the classic cartoons. Y'all don't know shit about that, man. I'm 32 years old. Hey, man, I've been on this planet for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? For a little bit length of time, so I can tell y'all a couple things. But let me sip my soda. Cherry cola, motherfucker. But when it comes to anime, why do girls think if you started watching anime around, I would say Naruto and like I would say like the 5th season of Pokemon, stay your ass away from this video. They're leaving comments acting like you've been into it. Like, come on now, we're not gonna do that, because y'all came into anime during the time when it was cool. Now, as far as the question that was presented again, why do guys think girls aren't into anime? You have to understand, and this is to every girl out there that wants to call themselves a girl gamer or a gamer girl or whatever that generic bullshit is. Because where I'm from, we don't even notice that. You know what I'm saying? What's a gamer girl? Either you're a gamer or you're not. Like, why are you trying to attach a female adjective to it? Like, either you're a gamer or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Either you're with the shits or you're not. That's basically all it is. So, y'all don't understand that we got to take this back to the 90s. This was a different time than what y'all living like now. And I understand that a lot of y'all don't like using critical thinking skills. Yes, I'm being disrespectful because y'all know how y'all are. But seriously, y'all don't understand. Really racing? That motherfucker was racing. But y'all have to understand that this was a different time back then. the internet wasn't even really thought about like that. It was still up and coming itself. Motherfuckers playing Oregon Trail and fucking Minesweeper and shit. That was the best you can get. Oh, and Zen Pinball. Zen 3D Pinball. That was the top 3 games y'all ass could play. Hell. Y'all motherfuckers came in during a time when y'all were basically spoiled with the new graphics and shit. Y'all don't understand the struggle. And I know I sound like one of them old motherfuckers. Chill out. I'm only 32. I've been here for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm young enough to fuck with the little ones, and I'm with the little homies, and I'm old enough to fuck with my big homies. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the middle child, like J. Cole say. I'm right there in the middle. During that time, when anime was still, I guess, like fresh to us in the United States, you gotta understand, this was during the time when you had geeks versus the jocks. Now you have to understand what the geeks versus the jocks really was, because these are actually just broad terms that was used to describe certain people who some people felt either played sports or was into anime and video games at the time. Now, you gotta understand something. Anime back then was really looked down upon, because no matter what anime you watched, it was always looked at as, like, no matter what anime you watch, right? It was always like those certain shows that no matter what, it was a stigma attached to the fact that you just like anime. And the stigma was, if you was watching Pokemon back then or watching Yu-Gi-Oh!, truth be told, you got labeled as a geek. Even if you wasn't really down with it like that. Like, for example, I was watching Pokemon back then, but I really wasn't into it, you know what I mean? But I was into it. I just wasn't, like, some people, they go to max. I'm talking about they was buying the Pokemon trading cards, which I did have some of, because I was into drawing back then, and I was always fascinated by how, you know, as a kid, you don't know. So I was always fascinated by how they was able to take a drawing and make it animated. You know what I mean? So that's kind of pushed me to watch anime more and more. Like G Gundam, Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. You know what I'm saying? Digimon, when it first came to the United States, and they had that whole Pokemon Digimon war going on. Bruh, that's a story for a different time. But regardless, this is during the time when, if you watch anime or play video games, it was really looked down upon. And it was the nerds versus the jocks. And if you was labeled a nerd, regardless of what video games you played, just saying that you played video games outside of anything that was sports related, you was, excuse me, burps, but you was always looked down upon it. And when you got looked down upon, you got made fun of. And the girls were not messing with the guys that were getting made fun of like that. This was during the 90s. You got to understand. It wasn't this cancel culture that you have these days where somebody say something bad on the internet and everybody just jump on them with this mob mentality from various parts of the world from behind a computer desk. This was, even in high school to this day, it's like, if you get made fun of, you know, things wasn't so sensitive back then either. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story for another time. You know, it was like your name was your name. So once you got known as something, even if it wasn't true, you know what I mean? You just was labeled that for the rest of your days in that school. And that followed you until you got known for something else. So girls wasn't really messing with dudes that was watching anime back then. They just wasn't. And if you was a jock, you was basically the meathead that was playing sports. That's all you was good at. You know what I'm saying? And it was really like us versus them. And me, I was kind of caught in between because I played sports, but I was more so into anime than I played sports. So they kind of pushed me towards the geeks and the nerds, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And even being labeled a nerd was something that you didn't want. It wasn't until like I wouldn't say the early 2000s, it was probably like 2000, it probably was the early 2000s. And it was sometime before 2010 where being labeled a nerd was a popular thing, and that's when the stigma kind of disappeared. Because I guess it was like the nerdy girls who was kind of like butt ugly in like high school and shit, they glowed up, as they say, and they got fined. So the high school jocks, they would be trying to fuck with them, and then over time it became accepted because of that. Being a nerd became cool because of pussy. That's how the world works, ain't it something? But no, seriously, it's like girls was not messing with dudes that were into anime and playing video games. Because once you got labeled as playing a video game, outside of a sports game, regardless, you got made fun of. Or they slapped another stigma on top of that, which was you was playing Final Fantasy, which wasn't a popular thing to do socially, unless you were just part of like an inner circle that really played games like that. And you had to fight. It was times back then when nobody wanted to be somebody that watched anime and played video games, because when you did, you had to fight. Now, I'm out here in California. It seems like a lot of people act like either they didn't have that problem or overall California just didn't have that type of environment, because a lot of tournaments do happen out here and been happening since the 90s. So I can understand if somebody out here didn't understand what that culture was like for us in the South, especially in Louisiana. I don't know where anywhere else, but Louisiana, it was like that. You gotta imagine being a kid that just enjoyed playing video games and shit like that and watching anime. You got made fun of, and once you get tired of being made fun of, you know what I'm saying, you gotta fight. So imagine it being like that. Some of y'all don't even know what that's like. Y'all can't even imagine what that shit is like. Because truth be told, some of y'all just come from, y'all were born into the era where it was already being accepted for a girl to do that type of shit. Or for a guy to do that type of shit. You know what I mean? It was being socially accepted. Y'all were born into that era. That's why I say y'all don't understand the shit people really had to go through. Now, I'm not trying to act like some Vietnam vet or anything like that, but you know what I'm saying? We really had to go through shit back then. And when you realize that it didn't get popular for people to watch anime until, like, I would say after Dragon Ball GT ended. When Dragon Ball GT ended, mind you, this is after Dragon Ball Z. I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z where Gohan beat Cell. When Piccolo had his fight with Cell and he fused with Kami. What else happened during Dragon Ball Z? When Raditz took Gohan. When Piccolo raised Gohan after Goku got killed. Like, I don't care what anybody say. This is, matter of fact, this was back when everybody realized how much of a better father Piccolo was than Goku. This is back when everybody thought Frieza was a girl. Like, dude, see what I mean? Y'all didn't even have the debate whether or not Frieza was a girl or a boy back then. So everybody just was born into the era where we knew. They didn't tell you, there was no internet, you know what I'm saying, to look up whether or not Frieza was a dude or a female. You know what I'm saying? Because of his voice, we always thought Frieza was a girl. Hell, some of us still do. Hell, shit. Y'all didn't have that debate on whether Frieza was a boy or a girl. So y'all really don't know what it was like back then. Shit. We had to fight. I know I sound like, I know I sound like Oprah Winfrey from The Color Purple, but that's how it was, bro. It was sad. It was sad, but that's how we had to do things. It was like if you was the nerd, you got picked on. And if you even thought about fighting back, you had to fight. You basically got jumped. Because people was not fucking with, you know what I mean? Even to this day, throughout history, women was always attracted to the guys that presented themselves as strong. And if you was any type of nerd or anything like that, you was looked at as weak. So females wasn't fucking with the dudes that looked like that. So Again, going back to the original post from this girl asking why don't guys think females watch anime, because it wasn't y'all thing. On top of that, y'all was going through like life-changing things that a woman has to go through. Like y'all, y'all chest hurting from y'all breasts, from y'all breasts growing, periods and things like that. Y'all don't have time to play video games, and you know what I'm saying? Even to this day, when some females be like, oh yeah, I play video games, and then they pull out their phone and start playing Candy Crush, it's like, you ain't really into video games like that. Stop capping. You know what I mean? Like, and they can't even tell you an anime outside of Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon that they really like. Because I don't even count Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Bleach, what else? Naruto. Those 5, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, those 4, excuse me, because I was thinking of another one that really got anime, Sailor Moon. Those 5 really got people interested in anime, and that's when it became popular. After like those animes were kind of over and done with, and like you could watch all the seasons through DVD and VCR tapes, that's when anime became popular. You know what I mean? And that's when it became socially accepted. And a lot of us who went through that, we had to fight because we were nerds who was watching anime and playing video games. A lot of us, we looking at y'all like, damn, when was this shit cool? And the fact that a female even felt like she had to ask, why do guys think females don't like anime and playing video games? Because first off, the video games y'all play, when we say we play video games, y'all gotta understand, there is, how can I put it? When we say playing video games, we're talking about the hardcore gamer, as we put it. I'm talking about the people that play competitive video games that have a competitive scene that's really into video games. Like, to a lesser extent, we talk about the Call of Duties and the Halos and I guess these days the Apex Legends and the Fortnites. Fortnite can't really count it. I mean, it only got popular because of Ninja. That's basically a kid's game. We don't really count that for real. But even then, that has a competitive scene. We talking about like the fighting games, like Tekken 7 and like the Tekken games and like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. You don't see too many females playing that for real, because females that play video games or got started playing video games, they was doing it because it was something cute, because they just wanted to try to be the girl that can hang with the guys just for bragging reasons. They wasn't really into it like that. So you got to understand, we look at y'all like, I can't take you seriously unless you prove yourself. And the way you prove yourself, you got to play one of the games that I just mentioned, or something that has some type of competitive feel to it. Don't be trying to challenge me in like Candy Crush and like fucking, what's another game they be playing? Temple Run. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be trying to challenge me in games like that, because then we just gonna laugh at you like you're not into video games for real. When we say video games, we talking about competitive video games, hardcore video games that take some skill to play. And when I say skill, I'm talking about knowing how to input combos correctly without messing up, understanding spacing, footsies, muscle memory, matchups, learning maps, learning stages. You know what I mean? Just the know-how of what comes with actually playing a video game. And when it comes to anime, you know what I'm saying? If all you gonna name is One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z, you don't count. You're not in a mix of people who really was in, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, what real anime you watching right now? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in a Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen these days. And truth be told, within the past couple years, RDC World 1 got a lot of y'all watching anime for real. Especially in the black community, because y'all wasn't out this damn loud, except in the fact that y'all like anime forever. it was always like a low-key thing because you didn't want to get picked on. So that's the reason why. So don't come around thinking that you just was a part of the clique that watch anime and all that, because we looking at y'all like y'all joking. Y'all wasn't really with the, you know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't with that era that got picked on for real. You know what I mean? So, and people, you know, y'all laugh and think that, oh, ain't no way that really happened, bruh. It's people right now that believe slavery wasn't that damn bad. not to compare the two, but to be a part of an era that doesn't have to go through what the previous era had to go through. I'm comparing it in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like we didn't have to go through slavery as we know it back then with plantations and having to pick cotton and beans and all that. So just like we don't understand that, a lot of y'all coming in and watching anime and playing video games during a time when y'all don't have to fight for that respect. You know what I mean? Y'all don't have to fight for that respect. You know what I'm saying? Y'all fighting to be told whether or not y'all want to be a woman or a dude type shit. Like, y'all wasn't there when motherfuckers had to fight for just accepting the fact that, yo, I like anime. Why you got to pick on me? You know what I mean? So y'all don't know what that struggle like, but, you know, that's why we don't believe a lot of y'all females when y'all say y'all into anime. Because it's just cap. Y'all think it's just a trend to y'all. We actually, you know what I'm saying? We fuck with the anime that we watch. You know what I mean? Like, we into the anime. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all watching Attack on Titan and, again, Jujutsu Kaisen and fucking One Piece. Hell, we was watching One Piece when they was still stuck in East Blue. Hell, when Zoro wasn't even a part of his team yet. Hell, when Sanji fed what's his name, Don Krieg, like the dude who had on like the gold armor and had like the poison bombs. That was his name, Don Krieg. Back when Hawkeye Mihawk was still like the baddest motherfucker in the anime. Like, when I say we really had to deal with some shit during that time, it's fucked up that people just come up and just act like, hey, yeah, I'm in the anime. You sound like a goofball to us. You know what I mean? So don't, you know, I'm not knocking for anybody that like anime, but don't sit there and act like you've been into it when we know full well. You know what I mean? You carry yourself like somebody that's just trying to be a part of the in crowd because it's just like the thing to do these days. I guarantee you, if people quit watching anime and anime stop being that popular thing, it's going to be only a small group of us that's really dedicated to watching anime that's going to still watch it. To a lot of y'all, this shit is just a fad. You know what I'm saying? And anime, the way it's drawn, the vibrant colors of it, you know, the creativeness of it, the stories that's behind it, we into that. A lot of y'all just want to say that y'all watching anime these days. Y'all not true to this shit, man, but whatever. I'm not trying to act like I'm a gangster or nothing, but that's what it is. Y'all not into video games like that. Y'all just not. Y'all into the attention that it brings. That's why you see a lot of these females on fucking Twitch claiming that they gamers and all that, but they want to label themselves as a gamer girl so that they can get the simps to give them money for nothing. For fucking showing skin, for wearing tube tops and fucking booty shorts on fucking Twitch. That's why Twitch had created the IRL section for that. You know what I'm saying? That's why half of y'all quote unquote gamer girls got OnlyFans. You know what? Let me not go there, because that's a story for another time. But that's to answer the question, man. So, you know, anybody who has a story about watching anime and having to deal with that type of bullshit and tired of these motherfuckers that be capping talking about they into anime and video games now, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know about, you know what I'm saying, having gatherings on the weekends, going to the local arcade or even having friends spend the night, you know what I'm saying, when a new game comes out and everybody playing and eating pizza and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? They don't know nothing about that. So, you know what I'm saying? Just understand that y'all, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got to be all outward with it, like trying to get people to get attention from. If y'all in the anime, just be in the anime. Y'all trying to attract too much attention to yourselves, and it looks stupid. It's like y'all want a reward just because y'all watching anime or y'all, you know what I'm saying, play video games or some shit. No, nobody want that, you know what I'm saying? If you like it, you into it, don't try to make a big deal out of it, because that's when we know you're full of shit. But I I digress. So with that being said, man, thank you guys for watching. Peace. Again, anybody who sees this video, man, give me a response, a reply, and let's have a discussion about this, man. What stories do you have about your first times watching anime or playing video games? And what do you remember about when it started becoming popular, when you had to go through the bullshit that you had to go through as a kid, just getting picked on if you got picked on? You know what I'm saying? Because I understand not every area had that, but it is what it is, man. Take care, y'all. Peace.